There is one behavior that almost every cat owner has laughed at least once. You barely get up and walk to the bathroom, and somehow the cat that was lying far away suddenly jumps up and follows you. Some cats sit and wait outside the door. Some scratch at it. Some push their way in as if this is one place they absolutely must be. A lot of people laugh when they see it. They assume the cat is just curious or overly clingy, or simply enjoys bothering you at the most private moment possible. But the truth is, most owners misunderstand this behavior. Because when a cat follows you into the bathroom, it usually is not just about curiosity. More often, it is a mix of monitoring your movement, wanting to stay connected, reacting to a closed door, and showing a quiet kind of attachment that cats rarely express in ways people immediately understand. In other words, this is not just a funny little habit. It is also one of those moments that shows your cat may be paying much closer attention to you than you realize. And the more deeply you understand it, the more you begin to see that cats are not as cold or distant as they seem. They just love in a very quiet way, a very instinctive way, and a way that humans often fail to notice. 1. Cats do not like it when you suddenly disappear from sight. For humans, going to the bathroom is completely normal, but for a cat, that moment may not feel small at all. 1 second you are still in the shared space. Everything feels stable. Every movement is familiar. Then suddenly you stand up, walk into a small room and close the door behind you. From a cat's perspective, that is a very noticeable change in the environment. Many people assume cats are so independent that they do not pay attention to where their owner is. But in reality, many cats track you much more closely than you realize. They know where you usually sit when you normally get up, how you move around, and they often react very quickly to even small changes in your daily routine. When you go somewhere they can no longer see you, a cat's instinct often pushes them to follow and check. Not necessarily because they are scared, but because they want to confirm that everything is still normal. Put simply, cats like knowing where you are, especially when you are the person they have grown attached to every day. A closed door is always too much of a mystery for a cat. If you pay close attention, cats are often especially interested in places that are closed off. An open door may not seem worth noticing at all, but the moment a door closes, it can instantly become something they feel compelled to investigate. Because to a cat, a closed door is not just a barrier, it is a question mark. What is inside? Why did you go in there? Why has that space suddenly been separated from the rest of the home? What sounds are happening behind it? What is being hidden from their view? Cats are highly sensitive to territory and to the flow of information in their environment. They like knowing what is happening around them, and they usually do not enjoy being shut out of an area that is normally part of their familiar world. The bathroom feels even more intriguing because it has running water, different smells, a different kind of echo, unusual movement, and most importantly, you are in there. So sometimes a cat follows you for one very simple, very cat-like reason. What is going on in there, and why am I not supposed to know about it? 3. Your cat may be trying to maintain contact with someone they consider important. This is the part that many cat owners completely miss. Cats are not the kind of animals that express affection in obvious ways all the time. They rarely display emotion in ways that humans instantly recognize. But that does not mean they are not attached. In fact, cats often build connection through very small behaviors. They follow you from one room to another, sit near you without asking to be held, lie somewhere they can still see you, or quietly appear during the most private little moments of your day. So when a cat follows you into the bathroom, it may be one of the ways they keep their sense of connection with you from being interrupted. Not because they are overly dependent, but because in your cat's everyday world, your presence has become such a stable part of life that staying near you simply feels natural. It may sound like a small thing, but it is actually deeply touching. Because cats do not follow everyone in the same way, they usually give this kind of quiet attention to the person they trust, the person they have come to see as part of their safe and familiar world. 4. Sometimes your cat is quietly checking whether you are okay. It may sound a little strange, but some cats really do keep track of their owner's condition in their own way. When humans go into the bathroom, they often become still, move less, close the door and separate themselves from the shared space. That is slightly different from most of the other activities that happen during the day. For a cat that is sensitive to movement and to your daily rhythm, that change can be enough to make them want to follow and observe. Of course, your cat is not thinking in a human way as if something serious must be wrong, but their gentle social instinct may still make them want to stay nearby, keep watch and confirm that everything is okay. That is why some cats do not really do anything dramatic. They just sit outside the door or quietly come in and lie near your feet as if their only job is simply to be there. If you look closely, you will notice that this behavior is not loud at all. It is quiet, soft, and sometimes it feels almost like a very cat-like form of protection. 5. The bathroom is actually an extremely interesting place for a cat. Beyond the bond they have with you, there is also a very practical reason. The bathroom itself is a highly stimulating space for many cats. There is cool tile flooring, a sink, a faucet, a roll of toilet paper, hanging towels, echoing sounds, different humidity and different smells. Cats are very sensitive to changes in sensation, so places filled with unusual or distinctive elements often attract them very easily. Some cats love sitting on cool tiles. Some are fascinated by running water. Some enjoy jumping onto the sink. Some love touching toilet paper as if it were the most entertaining toy in the house. So your cat is not always following you only because of you. Sometimes it is also because that whole space is simply full of things worth exploring. And it is exactly that combination, you plus a place that is already so interesting, that makes the bathroom especially hard for a cat to ignore. 6. This may be when your cat feels you are easiest to approach. In everyday life, humans are rarely truly still or fully undistracted. You work, look at your phone, cook, clean, walk back and forth, and constantly shift from one thing to another. But when you go into the bathroom, you usually slow down, stay in one place longer, do fewer things at once, and without meaning to become much more approachable in your cat's eyes. Cats are very good at choosing the right moment to come closer. They do not always seek you out when you want them to. More often, they approach when they feel the distance between you and them has quietly become smaller, and the bathroom is often exactly that kind of moment. You are not going far, you are not busy, there are not too many distractions getting in the way. It becomes a very ideal moment for a cat to step into your world simply by sitting beside you, rubbing lightly against your legs, or just being there. Seen from this angle, a cat following you into the bathroom is not only about clinginess, it feels more like a very smart and subtle way of choosing the right moment to connect with you. 7. Some cats simply do not like being separated from you by a door. This is especially true for cats that are used to following their owner closely around the house. For cats like that, a closed door is not just a door. It becomes a temporary boundary that blocks them from the person they want to keep track of. You may notice that some cats simply sit and wait. Some scratch lightly at the door. Some meow. Some insist on slipping in before the door can even close. A lot of people see this and assume the cat is being naughty or overly demanding. But in most cases, it is not that serious at all. They simply do not like the feeling of being cut off from a familiar line of contact, especially when the person behind that door is you. Cats are animals that love stability, so anything that interrupts a familiar sense of stability can make them react. And sometimes, that reaction is as simple as following you all the way to the bathroom door. 8. What your cat is really trying to say through this behavior. When you put all of this together, you begin to see that a cat following you into the bathroom is almost never caused by just one reason. It is usually a blend of many small layers: a little curiosity, a little desire to keep track of you, a little discomfort with you disappearing, a little fascination with a closed door, a little attraction to the space itself, and very often, strong wish to stay connected with you. That is exactly what makes this behavior so endearing, because it is not dramatic. It is not the kind of affection that is instantly obvious. Instead, it is a small behavior that repeats itself in everyday life, quiet, ordinary, but filled with meaning about how your cat sees you. Your cat may not be able to speak in words, but by following you even into the most private and ordinary moments of your day, they are saying something very clear. I am used to you. I pay attention to you. I do not like it when you disappear from my world for too long, and I enjoy being near you more than you probably realize. 9. If you look at this behavior as a whole, there is one very important thing. Cat owners should remember, the things cats do every day are often far less random than we assume. A cat following you into the bathroom may begin with curiosity, with a habit of watching you with discomfort around a closed door, or simply with interest in that space itself. But on a deeper level, it is often connected to your presence in your cat's emotional world. The biggest takeaway here is this: do not be too quick to dismiss your cat's small daily behaviors as just something funny or meaningless. Because very often those small behaviors are exactly where cats reveal their most genuine attachment. Cats do not love in a loud way. They do not say it. They do not always ask for attention directly, but they do watch you, remember your daily rhythm, and quietly maintain a connection with you through very ordinary little actions. So the next time your cat follows you into the bathroom again, try smiling in a different way. Not just because it is funny, but because you understand that in that very ordinary moment, your cat may be showing you something truly beautiful, that you are a familiar part of their life, a safe part of their world, and a very important part of what feels like home to them.